guys, so fall is here, and for us hot rodders out there, we all know what that means. It's time to play with our cars, time to change things, time to upgrade, and just do all the things that we thought about all summer long when we were driving it, how we can do this and do that and make things better, right? So these videos are gonna be on YouTube. They're always gonna be like part 1, part 2. So my videos are all over the map. Some days they're just shop tours, some days they're showing you stuff we're painting, customer builds, all sorts of stuff, but they're all over the map, and you just gotta follow. That's all you gotta do. But these ones, we'll call them the 31 Coupe Resurrection. Part 1, part 2, part 3. So as you all know, I bought a 31 Coupe a few years ago. I did not build it, I will not take credit for it. Beautiful car, beautiful work. You would consider this car, it's not 100% period correct, but if you're looking for the era, the look that it was built in, it would be mid-50s, because the engine is a 49 through 53 flathead, all rebuilt with a 3-speed. Chuck tranny behind it with a 44 diff that's been, open drive line. He's converted it, so you got the drive shaft open, not a torque tube. It's got all the 40 Ford wheels on it. It's sitting on a factory original 32 Ford frame rails. They're not aftermarket. He's done it old school, right down to the cloth wiring. I loved it when I bought it. It's cool, it's neat, but I'm going to yard that flathead out. I'm going to yard out the 3-speed, and I'm going to yard out the 44 diff. Now look, a lot of you guys are going to knock me, you're going to hate me for what I'm going to do, and I get it. You already know Belly Button Rick is going to go, not Belly Button Rick, but he's going to put a belly button Chevy in that sucker. The thing is what got me into cars and hot rods was the movie American Graffiti, okay? I watch that movie like 3-4 times a year. I know the soundtrack, what song's coming next. I know the word for word of the movie. I love the movie. Some of us can't stand that yellow Deuce Coupe on there, and some of us will give both our nuts to have it. I'm the guy that would give both my nuts and whatever else I have to give to have that car. Even though in real life, that car is a piece of shit. But it's still a cool old hot rod, and I love it. But I don't want that exact car, but I want similarities of that car. So I'm going to be putting a small block Chevy in my car. What I'm going to do is this car is still going to be kind of period correct. It's going to be more of a now late 50s, early 60s build. Because I'm putting in a 57 Chevy 283 with power pack heads with the man-free manifold with the 4 deuces on it like American Graffiti. I've got a 32 grill shell in my car. I'm going to be doing things that American Graffiti had, but still kind of keeping it my car. I'm going to be running the Nerf bar off the back like American Graffiti. Even though, like I say, this is not a 32, it never will be, it's a 31. But there's certain things about that car I like, and I have ideas. So I'm going to be pulling the running gear out of here. I've just advertised some running gear up for sale. It has to go as a complete unit. I'm not separating it. You get the engine, the rad, the tranny, the diff, and the rear wheels. You don't get the tires. That's all you get, and it's going to go as a unit. I don't give a shit if you want me to separate it or not, or what do you offer me. You're going to take it as a unit, and if not, I don't care, because I don't need the money. I'll just sit on it for a future build. But right now, what I'm going to do today to the car is the car came and it never did have the wood braces across the top. I'm going to put the patch in the roof, the black canvas patch. I love that look. Some people fill the roof, and a thing back in the day to do would fill it with a Vega rooftop off of station wagons or even vans because they had the ribs in them. People like doing that. I don't want to do that. I want the cloth roof insert patch. I like it because the 32 on American Graffiti had it. But I've just always liked that patch regardless anyway. I like it when the patch is on there. It just kind of breaks it up to me. I think it looks old school, it looks cool. So I'm going to be installing the wood. The wood was never installed. Got it right here. Not much to it. 4 pieces of wood. And what they do is you see now this, I don't know what this, here let me set this down. I don't know exactly what this guy did, because see how the wood is notched there? What it's supposed to do is sit down in this wood here, but he's got some sort of other wood in there. He's probably made this himself. It's really good though, and it hasn't got the notches cut out, but I'm not going to replace that. All I got to do is cut the notches out and put this wood in, and away I go, because it all fits nice, so I'm not going to be fucking with that shit. So I'm going to put this in today, because when I rip this car apart, when I do take the car apart, everything gets a little flimsy. It's not bolted to the frame no more. And in my way of looking at it, if I put that wood in there across the top, that's going to help to strengthen it. It can't not. Anything you add to a vehicle helps to strengthen it. So I'm going to put that in there today, only because I don't want to start ripping the running gear out of it yet. I did advertise the running gear, and I said it's going to come out in the next 2 to 3 weeks. It's an easier sell if somebody can actually see the car start up cold, hot, warm, you know, hear it run. I can't take them for a drive in it because the car's off the road now. We can maybe boot down to the end of my block and back, but that's about it. So if it don't sell in the next 2 to 3 weeks, well then obviously I'm going to yard it out and I'll have to put it on a stand and get it running, and people just have to take my word for it, and that's that. But I think when you can leave something in a vehicle, you're always going to get the money you're asking for it a better chance, because they can actually drive it, see it, and hear it, right? So I'm going to do little things to the car today and play with that. So my other thing, so I don't know how long this wood is going to take me. Shouldn't take that long, but it's 4 pieces. I'm going to put that in. The other thing that I'm not a big fan of, now American Graffiti had a dash kind of similar to this. It was just, you know, they had their gauges across there. Not similar, but they had the gauges across there. But these cars back in the day, on a 31 anyway, this was the gas tank. That's why it's got the cap right there. It's not anymore. My gas tank is in the rear. But then as they hot rod them, they cut the gas tank out, then they put your gauges in here with your wiring. But I like the look of this, but I don't want it. I'm going to change it out and put an actual dashboard in here, because I want to have something that has a glove box door and more storage, because there's no storage or room in these cars. They're great little cars, but there's not a lot of room. And if you want to drive it or take it on a trip or go somewhere, you know, you got to utilize every space that you can get. The other thing I'm going to do is, it's got the original package tray. I'm going to be yarding that out of there, and I'm going to be putting a different seat in and moving the seat back, and the seat I'm going to put in here, I'm going to have it so it folds forward, because there's a little bit of a gap between the seat and here where I can store stuff. That'll help out too for storage. But that's not all getting done today. Today, like I say, I'm going to work on the wood, and I might see what I got for dashboards, because I have got a lot of cool dashboards around here. And what I do have is I've got a 41 Ford dashboard, missing all the gauges, but it is a nice unmolested dashboard with the glove box and all the shit in it. So I may look at putting that in there. You have to cut it down, make it fit. That's what I do. I weld, I fabricate, right? So I like that shit. I might put that in there, and I might even weld up the hole where the gauges go and put my own kind of gauges in. I mean, this is why I keep, and you guys are only seeing a bit of it, this is why I keep stuff like this. Like, look, here's an old Pontiac gauges, Oldsmobile gauges. This is just a little Ford Falcon gauge set. Like, I got all sorts of stuff around here. You're not seeing it all, but I got shit everywhere. This is this is nothing. So I've got so much stuff to play with, and that's what I like doing. I like to customize, fabricate, and make it my own personal car. And like I said, I know a lot of guys are out there, they're pissed off, you're yarding that flathead out, you're putting a Chevy in it, why don't you put an Olds in it? I do have a Y block over there, it's all rebuilt, the 312. Why don't you do this, why don't you do that? But what I'm getting at here is I know the Chevys to some people are belly button engines and everyone puts them in everything. My little 58 Ford, I kept a Ford in that, so I'm not that guy. I do like having all the old cool different engines. But American Graffiti is what got me going on cars when I was 12 years old. And when I saw that fenderless 32 and that engine with those big headers coming down the side and those 4 deuces on there, I just, at 12 years old, probably got my first fucking hard on. I'm hooked on it. So I've got to put a small block Chevy in here. Whether you agree or disagree, it's all right. At least I'm still keeping it somewhat period correct, because I am putting a 57 Chevy engine in it. I have got a whack of engines. If we come over here, and these were all engines. Every engine I bought, I heard run. I know it runs, but a lot of them need rebuild and some don't. But I have got, as you can see, there's a 350 there, 350 there. That is flatty. That's actually a completely rebuilt, brand new flatty, no miles on it. 283, there's the baby I'm going to use. 283. You know, I got fin valve covers, I got power pack heads, I got transmissions everywhere. Look at this shit. Look at exhaust manifolds, oil baths, valve covers. Look, headers. Look at this. Look at the Chevy exhaust manifolds, pulleys, everything. I got so much shit, and again, you're only seeing a little bit of what I got for stuff like that. So I'm going to put a Chevy engine in. I got the man-free manifold. I'm making a deal on one right now, so I'm good to go there. I've got the Cal Custom fin valve covers, like on American Graffiti. So I've got a few things that I liked off that car. Obviously, like I say, this car's running. a 32 grill shell, which I love on the Model A. I love my headlights. These are the original ones. You know, these are just beautiful. Here, I'll get you. You can get in there and see. They're the old guides. And these are not, now they are repopping these, but these are original, so I'm leaving all them. The other thing I'm doing is, you can see I got the 40 Ford. I got the juice brakes on it, the dropped axle with the finned drums. I'm leaving all that, but I'm going to keep these tires and wheels. These rims are no longer going to be any good to me, because I'm going to be having, what I'm putting under the back is the same thing American Graffiti had. I've got a 57 Chevy rear end completely rebuilt with 411 posi in it. That's what I'm putting in the back. It's the same diff it had in it. So this diff is going to go. So these wheels are no good to me, but I'm going to keep the tires, see if I can find a different Chevy rim to put those tires on. Then I'm going to have these tires and wheels for one set, but what I'm also going to have is I've got brand new, ready to go, I've got the chrome smoothies, which is, where's American Graffiti? We got a picture of it. Look at, there it is right there. I know the light's shining, reflecting off it. Not the greatest, you can't really see there. Where can we go here? Here's one that's just drawn. It had the chrome smoothies, see? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a set of wheels with the chrome smoothies on. Again, there it is right there. Yes, am I into the show? There it is again. I'm just in. Oh my God, I'm into this show. So I'm going to have a set of chrome wheels on black tires, but on the back I'm going to put a cheater slick. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm not going to copy American Graffiti there. I'm going to have a cheater slick with the small white wall. So that's going to be one set of tires and wheels, and then I'm just going to have a plain old black set. Well, I've already got one, right? There, I'm going to keep this set, and then I'm going to do a set of black rims that are Chevy for those tires to mount on the back. So I can swap tires and wheels out if I'm looking for a different look. If I'm like, I'm getting tired of the chromies, swap it out for these. So I'm going to be doing that. Now my next thought that I've been thinking is I might do it. I don't want to give away all my ideas, but I might pull out the firewall on here, because I got to play with that anyway. When you put a small block Chev in, you got to change the firewall, because it gets tight to the firewall. But a trick is what you do: drill out the spot welds, take the firewall. See how this firewall sticks out? Flip it around. That's going to work. But I might just take this firewall right out of here, and I might put a 32 Ford firewall in the car. That's my other thing. I want to put it through. I don't know for certain. I'm not 100% there. I'm just thinking about it. I might do that. Another thing I'm going to do, that I know I'm going to do for sure, is I'm going to be taking the cowl up top. Let's get this out of here. I'm going to be taking the cowl. This, like I say, this originally back in the days, this was your gas tank. So a lot of people lose this gas cap, and this one, you know, we left it on. I kind of like the look of the gas cap, right? Some people like the smooth look. But I'm going to be cutting the cowl out here, and I'm going to be putting in a 32, the air vent. They had a flip-up air vent in 32 Fords, allowed air in to cool you down. I love the look of the air vent. That's going in there 100% guaranteed. I'm putting that in there. Putting that in there. And then around the back here, this is just a homemade out of aluminum deck lid. Guy had on it, all louvered. I might keep this too if I want to swap it out for a different look again, but I bought a brand new Brookville, just nice smooth original deck lid. I don't know. I mean, some people like the louvers, some don't. And honestly, right now, for the way I'm going to build this car, for what it's going to be, the deck lid is got to go. It's not going to suit the era or the look I'm going for, in my opinion. So I might be selling the deck lid, I don't know. Or like I say, it doesn't hurt to hang on to it, paint it when I paint the car, and then I can always swap out deck lids. And yes, you heard me right. I'm painting the car, but I'm not painting it yellow. I love the American Graffiti car with the yellow on it. A lot of people can't stand the yellow. I love it, but I'm not going to put yellow on here. I'm going to go back to the original. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to tell you. It's an original color, not necessarily for this, but I'm kind of slipping up here, but I'm not going to tell you. But I am going to go with an older, later model color that would have been used in the 50s, not some modern color. So, and then like I said, if you guys know American Graffiti, they had the Nerf bar on the back, on the 32. And it comes up around the back here. I'm putting that on here. I'm putting that on there. For sure I'm going to put it on. They repop and sell the Nerf bar. So I'm just going to buy it and put it on. It's out of stainless. Looks good. So that is what is going on. So I am going to go and play here And yeah, I'll get some wood in and maybe I'll continue this video and show you what's going on. But anyway, remember, so it's going to be 31 Coupe Resurrection. We're going to change it all. We're going to change the whole look of this car. The idea is I need to have this car on the road for the 1st of May because she is registered and signed up to be in Victoria, BC in July for Deuce Days. That's right, Northwest Deuce Days. Look it up. I've never been there in my life. It's been on my bucket list forever. And I told my lovely wife I want to go, and she said it's done. So that's good. Little does she know that she's going to pay. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I got myself started here. Went online, got a few measurements off of line, and get myself hiked up. You can see I got the rear piece in. So let me see if I can crawl up in the car. Let me get around here. Oh, let's see. Here we go. So I actually put a couple more holes in here too, and put some fresher tacks in. Yes, if you're new to these cars, they were held together with wood kit, and they had nails that held them down. Then this later on is when we're going to put the patch on, which I'll show you much, much, much later on in life when I get this car to that point. But for right now, these boards, had they been on an original kit board, it would have been cut out for these to go in. But it wasn't. But this is all new wood, so I'm not going to replace it. He's got it nicely put together. I'm just cutting out where these go, which is not a big deal. I got my handy little saw here. I got my little chisel and a hammer, and away I go. So I'm going to, as much as you're not going to see this, I'm going to fill this up with a little something afterwards too. But I got it cut pretty good, and these are supposed to sit flush here, which they are. So like I say, I went online and got some measurements. If you put these in like what I'm doing and your wood's not cut here, I'm not no expert at this, so don't quote me on this, but I really don't think it's going to matter exactly whether they're a little bit out from where they would have been factory anyway. Just as long as you've got the spacing even all the way across, I think it's fine. Because all that happens is you got wire that goes down here, then a mat, and then you've got your black vinyl that goes over top of it. And yes, it's like chicken wire. And then when you look up through the car, you're going to see chicken wire till you upholster it. And I'm going that route. I'm going the old school route. I want that look. Some may not like that look. I love that look. That's why we each build our own thing. So, and I got the one front one in here. You can see I've got this one in. So now I'm going to be working on the two middle ones, and I'm done. So anyway, it definitely, believe it or not, like I said, I can't see how adding these can't strengthen the body, and I feel a difference in the body. No word of a lie. When I grabbed the body before, it was always solid. It's mounted to the frame, but there was always movement up in the roof area there, and it's just solid with only two in. So we got two more to go. So, and then we get, like I say, we're getting some extra nails put up in there. So yeah, I'll get that finished off, and then maybe we'll look at dashboards. Okay, I finished off the wood. I can't believe the difference it made in this car. Even just closing the doors, huge difference. I'll have to take it for a rip down the road and see what kind of difference it made. Get up top here. Get shit out of the way. There we go. So this is what it looks like. Now, if you wonder what this is, I put just a little bit of, when the wood goes in, there's a slight little gap between it. I just put a little caulking in there. You know, you don't have to. I just did it in case when my patch is on, in case maybe some water gets in. I always do overkill. I'm that guy. You know, like I said, like the thing had the nail holes in it, but I drilled, in the front, I probably drilled an extra 4 or 5 holes. Along the sides, an extra 3 or 4. The back, again, another 4 or 5 holes. I drilled some extra holes. This shit's covered up. Upholstery on it. That's what goes on it, like a leather patch or a vinyl patch. And once that's on there, you know, I mean, you put it on after you do the body work, but I don't want to have any problems with this metal lifting off or something, crack into my body work and fucking things up later in life. So I'd sooner just do a little extra to the build, make it a little more secure than not. So that is on and done. Very happy with it. This car always had good closing doors. You open the door, just closes nice. But it definitely has strengthened the car up when I grab it. Man, it's going to make a huge difference. Went through and made sure that all the bolts There was a lot of bolts. You get bolts that hold it together too, that go up in between all these metal pieces up in here. Tightened all them up, made sure they were good and tight. I actually put lock nuts on them so they won't back off. Now, a lot of people when they're building these cars will eliminate the wood and they will put metal in there. Obviously, metal's a way better way to go. I'm not denying that in any way. But this car already had the wood in it, so I'm going to utilize it. Plus, again, I like the fact it's got the wood. You know, I don't know, I wasn't around back then, but how I'm building this car to be looking like it was built maybe in the late 50s, early 60s. I don't know how many people would have been actually putting metal in it back then. They probably still would have been just leaving the wood in there. And not sure. But that's it. So I'm going to go take a look at some dashes. Here, I'll take you guys with me. Let's take a look at what we've got out here for dashboards. I got quite the collection, but I don't have all of them here right now. But the one I'm thinking about most of all, hey man, the one I'm thinking about most of all, that's the cook down at Duke's Pub. Always gives me a good meal. Right up here, if we can see it, this is a 41 Ford. Oh, this is a 41 Ford dash. Now, I don't have the instrument cluster. You can buy it. I believe I have I do believe, I found a clock the other day that I think is from this dash. I don't know, I haven't brought it out yet, but I'm going to take this dash down and see. Obviously you've got to cut it and make it fit the car. It's going to be too wide, so I would splice it in the middle and then join it back up. You know, you're going to cut away some of the shit across the back to make it fit. But I'm not certain whether I would, you can buy reproduction gauges to go in here, but I'm not certain I'd even go that route. If I use this dash, I might weld that up solid and make something else of my own, because I've got so many dash clusters, which I showed you guys back in the shop, and that was just a couple. I've got so many different clusters, I might just make something else. But we've got other dashes here too. We've got, if we go back here, now of course you got your go-to dash, which any of you guys watching to build Model A's, a lot of guys put the shoebox Ford dashes in. I've got a couple of those somewhere, I believe. Where are we here? I think I got a couple. Right there. Right there. I've got 3 49 to 50 Ford dashboards. No, they're not for sale if anyone's looking. And I got a 51 dash. So I definitely will not run the 49 dash. And the reason I won't, they look good in the car, but the reason I won't do it is I got a 49 Meteor Coupe. And I'm going to have that dash in that car. So I don't want to have that dash in 2 cars, because I want to have, you know, I don't want to keep looking at the same dash all the time. There is this 51 Ford dash right here out of a car, which is kind of cool. I'm not very good at filming upside down, am I? It's kind of cool because you got your instrument cluster like right there in the middle, and then those holes there I could put other gauges in. I could put Stuart Warner's in. I'd have to cut out the middle section. I don't plan on having a radio in here, so cut that section out and then move it over so I still have a glove box. So I got that. I got that. So I don't know. And that, you know, what else we got? Let's see what else we got here. I think the other dashboards over here, they're too big. Well, they're not too big. You could cut them and make anything fit, but they're too big for what I want to get involved with. Yeah, we got a 57 Ford dash, 57, 58 Ford dash. But again, I don't want that either because I've got my 58 Ford. So that's just out. I don't want to look at the same dash. I've got a 55 Chevy dash. But I hate to cut that up and put it in a Model A because you see how it recesses around. My plan is if I ever build a 53 to 54 Chevy, chopped and dropped, I would put this dash in that. Okay, and then I got this, I think this is a 56 Ford. But nah, I don't know. That's kind of cool though, the way that comes out over the gauges. But again, I think when that's coming out over the gauges like that, and those cars are already small inside the Model A's to begin with, I think that's going to make it seem more cramped in there. So I'm steering between the 51 Ford dash right now and that 41 Ford dash. One of those ones, but we'll play. Okay, well anyway, I'll get the hell out of here. I have dashboards in other places. I mean, I got rooms over here, I got rooms everywhere, but I got to dig all that shit out to get to them. So let's, yeah, let's get back in the shop, and we'll see. So let's take a look here. This might be something I got to sleep on. I got to pull a couple of them. I'm definitely going to pull down the 51 dash out of the Ford and definitely the 41 and see what I like. But you see what I mean. And I'm not changing. My column is not changing. I'm leaving my steering box and column outside of an F1 right here. As you can see, I'm not touching that. So by not touching that, you can already tell there's not a lot of room here. Unless I want to start, well, there's really not much I can do there. Really not much I can do. It is what it is. So I think that 41 dash is going to be maybe the one that might be the answer. Kind of got to get all this shit out of here and see what I'm going to do. But I'm going to get the 41 dash down off the wall, measure it up, bring it in here. I don't want to start yanking this car, like I say, that far apart yet. Just because I put the engine and running gear for sale, which I said earlier in the video. And you always got a better chance selling something when somebody can hear it run. But I had a fun Sunday. Playing out here, and that's what I'm doing. That's what every Sunday is going to be about. Gates locked, garage is closed, leave me alone. That's it. So anyway, I will keep these videos going. So it's going to be the resurrection of the 31 Ford Coupe. This will be part 1, obviously, and you're going to see it come up as part 2, 3, 4. And whenever I do anything to this car, the video might be 5 minutes, might be 20 minutes. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hey, it's always a good time at old time. And we'll get some shop videos up here tomorrow. See you later.